All right, so as everyone is Elon, Twitter. Remember, we cannot always be tunnel visioned. We have to zoom out, look down. Okay, what do we see, right? Now, what I see, I keep saying this ecosystem. It is the one word that I keep being shown over and over anytime that I have had dreams about this or pressed in or prayed about, what's going on here. And so watching the ecosystem. Now, remember Starlink. Starlink is the satellite system that Elon has. Think about connecting Starlink with these algorithms through social media, big tech, even being able to use it in the financial sector. So think about that. I want to mention Bluesky because I don't see a lot of people talking about this right now, and I think this is going to be connected and very relevant going forward. Now, Bluesky is a company apart from Twitter, but it was funded by Twitter. And here it is right here. So now what is Bluesky? Bluesky is a project through Twitter to make it the media app a decentralized ecosystem. What a decentralized ecosystem. When I saw that word ecosystem, when I looked it up, I'm like, there it is again, ecosystem. I can't escape it right now. Now, when you're talking about something being decentralized, that is a very key component of in a direction that most people want to move. Okay, so whether you're talking about a decentralization of the federal government, a decentralization of the Federal Reserve, a decentralization in your media platforms, because when you decentralize something, so you have everything centralized right here, when you decentralize, you take it out of this central hold, the central capacity, the central governing role on that thing. So the last time I looked and tried to find information about Bluesky, there's never anything that really tells you, like how it's going to operate, how the decentralization would work. It just tells you what it is, and that it was it was funded by Twitter, and it was going to be a part of their system that they were going to bring into the actual app and the platform. So now my question would be, since we know that Elon has a lot of the big tech things going on in his head, very genius brain operating there. Does he already have a decentralized platform that can attach itself to Twitter? Would he bring in Bluesky? Could he possibly even use Starlink to do that? So those are things that I'm looking at and paying attention to as they come out. The other thing is really continuing to stay in a very neutral place surrounding, thoughts and feelings, emotions, projections, those things about him, because as we speak things out and declare things out, I see the internet ablaze today. You've got two different ideologies. You've got two political parties. Now you've got the government coming in. We want these acts of Congress, but then, the last time that the Republicans were in, we didn't want to talk about Section 230, but now that Elon has purchased this, we want Section 230. And you see how this political tug of war pulls people back and forth, and then it focuses on these very specific people. And also we've got Elon. This Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case, I told y'all to watch that too, because there was something coming out of the Hollywood structure that brings Elon into it. And I'm like, dude, okay. So as we're watching those things, to try to stay in a very neutral place, be very open, very cognizant, very aware of what you're seeing, but really pray for him. I'm specifically praying for the right collaborators. That's what I have felt. There's like the right collaborations to come next to him, because when you see someone who starts stepping out and doing things and building the way that he is, especially as we're moving into new systems and new institutional bases, that people, that everybody's got their own agenda. Let's just be honest, okay? So people with an agenda will start to gravitate towards someone that they see as a hand up, right? And so we want people who have agendas from the heart to be gravitating towards him, not those who would want to use these systems to enslave or harm in any way, but those who would gravitate and not necessarily ones that maybe work in the right sector with him or the same thing that he's doing, but even in a place of co-collaborators, people that have a heart for people, those that have the best interest of humanity at heart. And so as we look at him, as we watch him, as we watch these institutions, remember, we don't want to say, well, I just don't want that institution because it's been corrupt and it's not been good. Just to step into another institution that just changes the name, it changes the look, it changes the wording, changes the verbiage, and then you think, oh, new place. And it's not, because that's not what we're doing. We don't want to just keep hopping into these new institutions. That's the same system. That's the same play that's been happening for a very long time. And so as we're watching these things, we really want to pray over and speak into them, to bring forward and declare out and use life in our tongue, and not speak and project the things that we actually don't want to see. So we have to be very cognizant of that. So I am praying for him, and anything that I might see come out, to just say, okay, we're not going to live in the past anymore. We're here in the present. We're moving into the future. And so speaking those things out over him, and praying that the right people would surround him, that his heart would constantly be pulled for the best of himself, but also for the best of humanity right now.